Hi everybody, it's David Fleming here from Toronto Realty Blog, and welcome to this week's Pick 5. Now, this week I want to take you guys to the West End, and I want to look at what you can get for your dollar, say compared to different areas. Now, it bears mentioning, I don't know if you can see this, but I just ate something, and I think I'm having an extreme allergic reaction in the middle of filming Pick 5 here. I don't know what this is, but you're going to have to just deal with this and just assume, bang, I literally just rescued some old lady from a purse thief, and that's why this is here. Okay, let's move on. Guys, the area I want to look at is the following. Let's take a look at the map here. So this is a huge grid, but we're looking from Bloor all the way across essentially to Park Lawn and south to Queensway. Massive grid. But primarily this week we're going to be focusing more towards the southern end, down here, where I think there is a ton of value. So you guys know that in Sunnylee, there's beautiful homes. There's 50-foot lots. It's south of the Kingsway. It's basically the Kingsway's less attractive cousin. But down further, we're seeing some incredible value. And if you've been along the Queensway, and I think I did a blog here about townhouses a while back, and I had a few blog readers email me and say, you know, you're talking about the Queensway as up and coming. It's already arrived. One person gave me a list of restaurants, another person gave me a list of area amenities, the schools, the parks, etc. So I figured, what the heck? Let's take a look at this area. It's a very, very big grid, but I want to look at houses in this area and then sort of going again from low end to high end. What would this cost in another location? So we're going to take a look here, and you'll see I've decided to use MLS because the pictures that I always use when the listings are sent are so terrible and grainy that this is going to be our new thing here, just so you know. Okay, so here we are at 47 Stephen Drive. Now first, we need some context. Where's 47 Stephen Drive? 47 Stephen is about as far east as you can get before you're basically, well, you're at the South Humber Park. Now you're going to see here, Humber Treatment Plant. Do you want to live next to the Humber Treatment Plant? No, if you can avoid it, but is it really that big a deal? Some people say yes, some people say no. My wife asked me about a house that's on duplex the other day. Yeah, okay, it's staring out at the train. I don't really care. I showed a house on Palmerston a while back that literally had a train right next to it. Those clients didn't seem to care. So, look, every buyer's different. If you care that this is here, this is not the house for you. But what it is, guys, is a house that is incredible value. And you can see here, obviously, you're not too far from the Queensway. So we'll go back to it. Incredible value for semi-detached, two-story. And again, try to put this in context of other areas. We've got a 21 by 128 foot lot. So that's wider than average. It's deeper than average. 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom, $674,900, and sitting on the market 10 days. So here's where the photos are going to look better. See, now they're in high def. Why didn't we do this earlier? So this house aesthetically does not look great because the paint colors suck. It's not staged. I mean, they've got blues, they've got stickers on the wall. They've got an orange kitchen with a weird red floor. But the bones of this thing are solid. It's solid brick structure. It stood the test of time. It's attached to the other side. It's not going anywhere. It's aesthetics. It's an aesthetic reno, and part of the reason I'm showing this is because I think this house could be had for a hell of a lot less. So to put it in the context of what this would cost in other areas, if this was, let's say, on the east side, say Danforth Village, which is what I'm reminded of when I see a 21 by 128, this semi in this same condition, and I think this could be had for, say, $625, you're probably $825 to $850. So right there, we're talking affordable. I know not affordable to everybody, but if you're taking an $850,000 house in Danforth Village, and you're saying, geez, I really wish this was $650, $625, here it is. So back to the photos here, we can see that an old clawfoot tub, again, brutal paint colors, but we're trying to look at the space itself. The walls are dirty. This is wallpaper that had been stripped off. This is remnants of glue. It doesn't look great. Here you've got a typical green bedroom. And there's a kid's bedroom, which is just wacky colors. So the reason, again, another reason why I'm showing this is because I think, and here's the basement that's purple with an ugly drop ceiling, I think that there is so much value in this structure, so much value in this layout. And all we're talking about here are paint colors and maybe a new kitchen. Not maybe, probably definitely a new kitchen. But when you look at this basement, this is deep. This is great ceiling height. And the drop ceiling's awful, but you can drywall that. You can get rid of the purple. You don't like this laminate, then cover it with a carpet. But the bones of this thing are solid. washer dryer, nice backyard. It's a 128-foot lot. Yeah, great lot. And honestly, the value with this thing is just incredible. So again, first listing of 5 we're going to look at, but entry level to this area and really entry level to the entire city of Toronto, because what we're looking at here is a 3-bedroom, semi-detached. It's a freehold, right? This isn't a condo. There's 1-bedroom condos. What was the one on the other day a colleague of mine had on Delisle? I don't know what just happened here, but Siri's recording everything. Never can be too careful, Siri. There's one on Delisle, colleague of mine had 600 plus square feet, nice little terrace, $499 list, sold for $675. Now I know, apples and oranges, that's a condo on Delisle, but it's a 1-bedroom condo, and this is a house, and it's listed at the same price. I think this is probably more towards $625. Okay, moving on. There we go, 12 Aldgate. Okay, now we're jumping up in price. $949, almost a schmill. But it's been on the market 21 days. You see where I'm getting at? Now keep in mind, guys, this is not indicative of the entire market. I could tell you a million bidding war stories. I've lost in multiple offers. I mean, 2 come to mind. On Ellerbeck last week, we walked in there at $1,139,000 offers anytime. They wanted 48 hours. It ended up selling for over $1,003,000. And then there was one, what was the one on... need some Jeopardy music or something as I'm thinking. It was on Yarmouth. Yarmouth. Yeah, Yarmouth. Great name. Listed at $1,085,000, sold for $1,360,000. 200, almost $300,000 over list. Is that right? Did I do that math correctly? I'm going to blame it on this rash that's totally killing me. My buyers were at $1,210,000, and I felt pretty good about our offer. I don't get blown out often, and what I think that one was a spring-like sale where the highest bidder is 6 figures over the next highest offer. I really do believe whoever paid $1,360,000, the next offer behind it was probably $1,240,000. And then I'd say, oh, $1,240,000. Okay, we bid $1,210,000. Anyway, so there are still multiple offers happening. Point being, with this particular listing, 21 days in the market, $949,000. You could get this thing for $900,000. And what do we have for $900,000? We have a detached 2-story on a 33-foot lot. Just think of that value. Now the house itself, oh, here we go. I like this new system. Okay, the house itself, as you can see, probably a 1950s vintage, original character intact with the woodwork and the brick fireplace. Some people like it, some don't. But I literally just sold a house, 88 Runnymede, that looks exactly like this. So traditional formal living and dining, kitchen off to the side. Okay, if you wanted to, you could open this thing up a little bit. The house I sold was definitely better. It was also a different area. So we're looking at the size. Oh, now we're upstairs. This is really throwing me for a loop. So we're looking at the size overall with this main floor, a 33-foot lot. These rooms are going to feel really big. And you can remodel the kitchen if you want to. I mean, this is kind of a hodgepodge, obviously different appliances. They've done the backsplash and the counters. These could be original, could be painted. I can't really tell. But the space is there, right, with the 33-foot lot. So you've got 3 generous bedrooms upstairs. It looks like windows and that sort of thing are updated. It's forced air gas. This looks like... yeah, it looks like original flooring, which is actually in really good shape. That's a funny thing. You look at these houses and you think somebody carpeted over top of this flooring for 40 years. Original hardwood you cannot replace in beautiful shape. There's one of those chairs. What's it called? An Ames chair? I don't know what the deal is. I'd never heard of this until one of my clients once told me that he had an Ames chair. I was like, great. What the hell is that? Oh, it's like a $6,000 chair that people buy for some reason. I bet it's comfortable, but... call me cheap. I don't care how much money I had. I don't know I could spend $6,000 on a chair. But if you guys are watching this and you have that chair, hey, cool. I want to be your friend. I want to sit in your chair. Okay, so basement's great. I love basements. I'm a huge basement fan. I love deep dugout basements that don't have huge bulkheads running across. The basement is the man cave. The basement is the kids' playroom, and this has a great downstairs. Also has an extra bedroom. I think there were 2 extra bedrooms, if I'm not mistaken. There's the bathroom, and there's outside. So it doesn't have the best backyard. It's a mutual driveway, but it does have 2-car parking if you want it. Okay, and that's it. So, again, taking a look at this house, 12 Aldgate. What would this cost? So, the house I just sold on Runnymede, for argument's sake, we paid $1,240,000. And this thing here, you can have for $900,000. Now, obviously a very different area. Runnymede is literally 2 seconds to the subway. But there's a reason why there's a $350,000 difference. This is in the Queensway. But for those of you that are on a budget and you need to get into a house like this, you want it attached, you want 3 bedrooms plus downstairs for the in-laws, this is where you go. This is where the value is. It's incredible. What was the other thing I wanted to say about this? Yeah, mechanicals, forced air, gas, central air. So pretty well updated. The house itself is updated mechanically. It's just the aesthetics that need a little bit of work. Okay, moving on here. So now is a different type of property, and we're going to go a little bit further north to 21 Lorahill, which is right here. Okay, so now we're north of Norseman. So where did we start out? We started out sort of down in here, right? The one on Stephen, and then we went over to Aldgate, which is down here. So Lorahill is further north. Now this actually, the first two were in Etienne Brule School District. Lorahill is in Norseman, obviously, School District. Ranks a 7.1 out of 10. Not a bad school, and you're a lot closer to the subway. So what this house is it is present and future. And what I mean by that is it's a 50-foot lot. So whether you build this up down the line or whether developers come knocking, you own a 50-foot lot for $1.2 million, on the market for 8 days, which seems like a long time in this market, I guess. But a 50-foot lot, my God, and it's a private driveway. 3-bed plus 1 downstairs, 2 bathrooms, both have showers, basement finished with a walkout. So let's take a look. I never understand the brick here. Asphalt, I know it cracks, but then your kids can, play hockey and basketball. I'm not saying they can't on here, just the ball would bounce a lot. Okay, so inside, fully renovated, original character and charm, kind of an oxymoron in an ironic way. Principal dining area is great, looking out through the window. Nice little living room over here. I shouldn't say little, that's pretty decent size. And keep in mind with, I'm going to show you this here, keep in mind with a bungalow, right, main floor, living, dining, kitchen, master, second, third. It sounds like a lot, but it is a 50-foot by 100-foot piece of land. So the kitchen cabinets are a little bit old, leave something to be desired. In terms of the layout, you're never really going to be able to change the size of the kitchen. It's right in between the living space and the bedrooms. That's kind of the one knock on this. But again, I'm looking at buying something with 3 bedrooms and then a long-term investment because you're going to be able to build on this or sell it to a developer. So the furniture's a little bit old. It doesn't really show it in the best light. And then downstairs, it's finished. I don't love the tile, but again, I'm looking at ceiling height. I'm saying it is finished. You could throw a carpet over this, get rid of the drop ceiling. That's our second drop ceiling so far today. Put in some drywall. Look at the size of this thing. Look, no bulkheads, no weird pipes. It's perfect. It's probably 7 foot, 6.5 to 7 foot, and it's one massive space. This is a fantastic kids' playroom. Again, bathroom cabinets could be updated a little bit. But this basement, fantastic kids' bedroom. Kids' playroom, man cave. There's your extra bedroom. That's an in-law suite. Friends staying over, etc. And there's your backyard. And you can see the basement window here is kind of at grade. So I like this property a lot for the buyer that's looking for land. And I do get buyers that, a lot of them usually didn't grow up in Toronto, and they're saying, I can't move into a 14 foot semi in, I don't know, well, lots of places where they're highly in demand. Leslieville, the Annex, Cabbagetown. People love those things. They're awesome. But then there are people that say I need a 50-footer. And so you can't afford a 50-footer that's built up. We're going to take a look at that. But this is your sort of interim step. Okay. Well, let's move on here to Bentley. Hello, Bentley.
Hello.
So now we have something interesting. This is a 50-foot lot again. Now it is built up, but this sort of feels like a topped-up bungalow or an older house. Actually, it says 0 to 5. I don't quite understand what that means, because why would you not expand this to cover the lot like the next listing we're going to see? So we'll take a look at the map. We're back down here. Okay, we had just gone north. We just gone up here to Lorahill. So we're back down again into, where is Bentley? Bentley School District. Oh, this is in Norseman, so that's a good school district. So we're back closer again to the Queensway, but we're kind of combining a couple of ideas here. We want the 2-story, we want the 50-foot lot, but it's not, I'm going to show you the last one. Okay. It's not one of these. It's not a monster home. This is a 50-foot lot, and this is a 50-foot house. I'll get to that one in a second. But what we're seeing here is a 50-foot lot, but this is what you'd expect to see on, a 32-foot lot, because they have a huge private driveway, right? When you build the big ones, you build the garage into the house, and they've got a lot of side yard over here. So this is a 3-bed, 3-bath. It's beautifully done. And I'm looking at this and wondering, how in the world is this $1,349,000? $1,349,000 and sitting on the market, might I add, for a whopping 72 days. So really beautiful main floor. I never like this brick around the fireplace. Shouldn't say that. A lot of clients of mine have that. Eat-in kitchen, right? Renovated, huge. You could do jumping jacks in there. 2-piece bathroom, big master, kids' bedroom. Other kid's bedroom. Is that a bulletin board or a TV? That is a bulletin board. I sound old. Is that a television? So there's your 4-piece bathroom, and there's your basement. So is that a whiteboard or a television? That's a television. And so there's one over here too. Okay, it's my old person voice. So beautiful basement. I'm all about basements these days. Okay, I would much rather see carpet, but look at the size of it. This thing was dug out. This thing was done properly. There's your one bulkhead. It looks like a 7-foot ceiling. And there's your man cave next to your office. Could be your kid's playroom. This thing's awesome. And it's got a bar. This thing's amazing. So why is this not sold? And why is it only $1,349,900? I have no idea. Honest to God, I have no idea. It doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, look, 3-bed, 3-bath. Check this out. Master, 4-piece ensuite. So you're telling me that you have a 50-foot lot. It's fully redone. It says it's less than 5 years old. It has a private driveway. It's got an ensuite bath. You're not sharing with your kids. It has a fully dug out basement, a huge backyard, and this is only at $1,349,000. How is that possible? Well, welcome to the Queensway, folks. That's what this thing costs. And if you were to take this, these games are silly. If you were to take this and put it in, you know, where could you find a 50-foot lot? Nowhere else. But if you took this and put it in the beaches, and let's say this would have to be east of Victoria Park over near like Fallingbrook, this would be $2.7 million. Probably more, even though it's only a 3-bedroom. So there you go. Now we're talking 50% discount. Okay, last house I'm going to show you guys, I got to get moving here, is 17... Do I still have this rash going on here? Yeah. I'm going to have that looked at. 17 Ballacaine Drive. So now we're seeing the 55 by 150. Okay, a little bit older, see 16 to 30. But here they've done the big number. Okay, and part of the reason why it's only $2 million is because it is not brand new. But this is the kind of way to maximize the lot. 55 deep, or sorry, 55 wide is huge. 150 deep is massive. And where are we? We are in prime Sunny Lee. Sunny Lee, there is no song, I'm just making it up. It's near one of my favorite streets, Kirk Cameron. Oh, Kirk Braddon. I really thought it was Kirk Cameron this time. I do this once a year. God, I miss Kirk Cameron. Growing pains. Every day at 5:30. Because Who's the Boss was on at 5, Growing Pains was on at 5:30. And if you're thinking facts of life, I got a couple years less than you do. Okay, so 17 Ballacaine. Great spot. We'll take a look at the house here. Specs, 4-bed, 5-bath, main floor family room, 2 parking spaces behind the 1-car built-in garage. So the house itself, no flies on this other than maybe the decor, right? Because it is a bit of an older house. So they're starting the first photo here as a main floor family room, which is off the kitchen. Nope, these are out of order. This sucks. Okay, formal dining room. You're going to have to use your imagination here. Formal dining room. Here is, holy moly. Was I wrong? Was this at the front of the house? Yes, I think. Okay, I take it back if it was at the front of the house. Anyways, there's no real flow here. Okay, gonna have to go with it. This looks like the family room off the back. The front one would have been the living room and real weird flow. Okay. Don't love the black counters. I know you don't because they are 15 years old. So here we've got the master bathroom. I'm not wrong. These are out of order, right? Like, I don't get the flow here. And they're not the best pictures. My guy did not take these photos. Okay, so now we're upstairs into, they're starting with, what? They're starting with the smallest bedroom? They're starting with the smallest bedroom. Twins? Or just there was a 2-for-1 sale on cribs, just in case one breaks. Now we're back to another bathroom photo. Holy crap, what is going on here? Now we're in the basement? What? What's happening? Where's the master bedroom? What? I'm so confused. Should we start over? Okay, look. This is a great house with a terrible listing. Okay, I know enough to look at the front of the house and see the specs. It's a 55 by 150, 4-bed, 5-bath, with a private driveway, built-in garage, main floor family room, deep dugout basement. The photos are terrible, and it doesn't do it justice. Let me see if I can pull up the floor plan. Here we go. Okay. Wow. Main floor. Okay, what have we got? We've got an office here, living, dining, family room was at the back, and a little bit of a pocket kitchen. You would hope that this wall is not here, but unfortunately it is. Then we had that huge deck. What's happening here with the lower floor? We have a bar, a lower family room, and a playroom. Okay, and then upstairs we've got the master ensuite, bed, bed, bed. Okay, it makes sense. Square footage wise, we are 1275, 1628. We're like 4,000 square feet. So look, the listing did not do this thing justice, guys. I'll go through it again roughly. I mean, front of the house, okay. Dining room off to the side. Yeah. It's a different layout. I guess I wasn't expecting this. And then things like having this little table here, it's like an eat-in kitchen, which is behind the kitchen. You don't want to have kids eat in the morning in the formal dining room. I get that. So not the best note to end on, because I didn't really understand the flow of that, and I guess I expect too much of listings. I do my things a certain way. Every single property I list is in the same order in terms of photos for condo or house. But bottom line, if you took this 55 by 150, and I know it's silly to compare to, say, what it would cost in Forest Hill or Rosedale, but let's say you took this 55 by 150, you know, there aren't any in Leaside. There's no 55-foot lots. Say North Toronto. Say that this was up at Alexandra. You take this house, you put it on Alexandra, just off of Yonge Street, and this thing is $4.2 million. So you see, that's two houses in a row where we've looked at it and we've seen the price is 50%, a 50% discount to what it would cost in a different area. And yeah, I know that this is not North Toronto, but this is not a bad spot either, right? How far are you from Bloor? How far are you from Norseman, which is a great school? And how far are you from the subway? Not to mention parks, river, etc. Anyways, guys, I have to go get some Benadryl. I feel a little lightheaded. No, I'm kidding. My wife would go, "Do you want to go to the hospital?" Every time. I'll stub my toe. I'll go, "Ah." She'll go, "Do you want to go to the hospital?" I love her. She's the best. That's it for this week, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Just a different kind of tour into a different area that we don't really talk about a lot on Pick 5. But again, anything that you're looking at in the city of Toronto that is centrally located, if you go east and west, you can find the same thing for less. So as I continue to say every week, I sound like Bob Barker at the end of Price is Right. Have your pet spayed or neutered. Goodbye.
Bob Barker reminding you, help control the pet population. Have your pet spayed or neutered.
I never knew what that was when I was a kid. I finally found out when my dad told me, and I thought, why would he say that on this game show? Anyways, I sound like this, like Bob Barker, every single week. I seem to be ending with the idea of urban sprawl. The idea that not everyone can afford what they want, not everyone can live right in the core. So as people continue to move east and west, you will continue to see deals like this. I know I'm saying there's a deal at $2 million, but it's a $4+ million house if it's in North Toronto. Every single house that you've seen in this Pick 5 so far, I think, is at a 30 to 50% discount from what it would cost in the central core. And I encourage them to look outside the core, think outside the box, go west, young man, go east, young lady, and you will find slightly better value. Slightly? No, much better. Anyways, that's it, guys. Have a fantastic weekend. I'll see you next week. Bye for now.